Welcome back. Episode 139 of the Bryant Land Show. He is Antonio Marsh with Hunting with the Marshes. I am AB3, official Bryant Land, and thank you all for checking out another episode of our podcast. Please excuse my crappy lighting. I am doing this while I'm on the road working, but Antonio, you've been so gracious to move your schedule around to try to get an episode out for our fans that keep showing up every week. So appreciate you. How's everything going in the big city of Columbia?
Whew, Columbia ain't doing too good today, buddy.
Yeah.
They say this. It is somber.
Well, when your football team gets beat 31-7 on, at home, I would expect nothing less. So that does not surprise me in the least bit. It was a rough game last night as we record this.
Listen, ain't nobody talking to nobody today.
Yeah, I've told a couple people to go to hell. I've texted me.
Listen, we was at church this morning, and the guy he was talking because we was doing a food drive today, and they told everybody to wear orange, and it was like, oh my God, it's like we didn't think about the orange. Everybody's looking like Clemson fans, and it was like, we know Clemson lost yesterday, and somebody was like, yeah, South Carolina lost too.
I was about to say Clemson ain't do that much better either. I mean, that game was closer, but they still gave it up. They had a chance. We never had a chance. So yeah, that's all I can say about that. And then we'll move on next week and try again. And hopefully our quarterback won't still be in concussion protocol. But again, what can you do? So
it was a good day of football yesterday, man.
It was good. It was. There were some good games on yesterday, and a lot of early conference matchups started too yesterday, like with SEC and everything. So football is in full swing. The other thing that is in full swing is deer season. Georgia, we opened up on Saturday. Got a chance to go out on Saturday morning, and it was really good. Just good being back in the stand, or in the blind in my case, just being back out there. Did see some deer. Did have a shot on a deer, and it just didn't work out. I mean, one of the things that's so funny to me is like you practice all summer, and you go out there and you try to recreate different scenarios. The one scenario you cannot recreate or adjust for is when deer move. I think people forget it's a moving target. So best laid plans, you can put that pin where you think you're going to put it, or where you want to put it, I should say, but deer move. And sometimes it doesn't work out. I smacked a deer in the shoulder yesterday, and like I said, it just didn't work out. So, Antonio, what is the craziest thing that you've ever seen like a deer do when you're out in the field?
That's probably by far the craziest thing I saw.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I thought that deer was down, like literally smacked, and the way she fell. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to overlay the video for people watching on YouTube, but the way it hit her, she fell, rolled over, and I'm thinking okay, it was a spine, so maybe she'll be down, but literally another minute or so, all you see was the head pop up. She let out this growl, and then she took off and sprinted off. It's almost like the shot stunned her, and then once she realized oh, I'm all right, let me get out of here, and then she just took off. It's almost I call it the zombie deer, because I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, I guess what the craziest for me, I had a deer one time. I thought it might have been the first buck I think I ever shot, when he walked into that feeder, and he got up there and he kind of paused, and almost his spider sense went off and said, something's not right. So he casually turned around and started walking away. So I said, well, let me just try a little doe bleed or something. I mean, he was gone, man. He was 30 yards. And I hit that doe bleed, and he stopped and turned around and looked and came back. I said, what? That's what. So I guess these calls do work.
It's fun. Yeah, like calls. I've not had great lucks with calls, especially bleeds. Like I've had some luck where I've been able to grunt in like a couple of bucks, like with a grunt call, but like doe bleeds, I have had zero um success with that. But is I think in your case, like he heard that bleed and it definitely made him think like, okay, wait a minute, there's a doe around, like let's rethink this.
So Adam, speaking of hunting, so remember a couple of weeks ago we were talking about Pennsylvania. Was it Sunday hunting?
Yeah, hunting on Sunday. Yep.
So they just passed a law up there where you can hunt with semi-automatic rifles.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like certain animals. I don't think it's deer. I didn't read the whole story. Nothing. I was just looking at it
Uh
before you got on. But yeah, they're gonna allow semi-automatic weapons for hunting up in Pennsylvania. You get a chance, look it up.
that
So, and I know you're not a big. I know you're a bow hunter. You're not a big rifle hunter, but I kind of saw that, and I said honestly, for me, we start talking semi-automatic rifles for hunting. I mean, you hunt how you hunt. I
right,
mean, you do what's comfortable. You do what you do. But the way I've trained myself, and the way I teach my daughter, my wife, I said I believe in one shot.
right,
You get one good shot to get that animal down. Because I've heard guys say with semi-automatic weapons out there hunting that they 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds. And to me, is like if you just can't get 1 point on target, 1 round on target, something's wrong.
right. And I'm looking at it right now. So it looks like currently it is just for small game hunting, but prohibited for big game hunting. But they're looking to add it to big game hunting,
Yeah.
magazine restrictions of 3 to 5 rounds. So that's just like when you go like any kind of like duck hunting or goose hunting or whatever, like there's a thing in the barrel of your shotgun that limits you to like 3 shells. But when
Mhm.
you take it out, then you can put it in like whatever it holds. So it's like 6 or 8 or whatever. But yeah, when you have, I think the plug is what they call it. Yes, the plug. It's been a while since I've done any kind of waterfowl hunting. But yeah, you take that, you have that plug in, it limits you to 3 shells. You take that plug out and you can put in there as many as your gun can hold. And so it looks like, just from reading that real quick, they're proposing 3 to 5 round magazines in for big game hunting. I'm with you. Um, one shot, one time. Like make it clean, nice, one shot, clean kill. That's exactly what I
Yeah.
was aiming for yesterday. But yeah, when you and then even small game. So I'm trying to think like a squirrel or a rabbit, and you put in like multiple rounds in that, like that meat is, if there's any meat left, it's gonna be terrible.
You know, so I was thinking about your hunt yesterday, and I was having a conversation with a guy. He crossbow hunts, but of course crossbow wasn't they use a boat. So
Yeah, yep.
it didn't dawn on me when I was sitting having a conversation with him. I said, "Hey, I said, do you reuse an arrow?" And I got to realize why he was looking at me like, "What do you mean, do you reuse an arrow?" Because me, once I shoot a deer,
Yep.
it just may sound crazy. I don't reuse that arrow. It's and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I was on YouTube and I saw a guy where he went to pull an arrow back, and I
Mm.
guess he realized the arrow I guess it must have had a fracture or something
Yeah,
in
had
it.
a crack, yeah, split or something in it. Yep.
And that arrow, half of it was through his hand.
Eesh.
And after I saw that, I said, I don't care how good I think that arrow is, I would never use an arrow again. I mean, it's not sound crazy, man. But all that folks like, oh man, that's $13, $14. You know what? You're right. But I'd rather pay market, date, drop
And
the deal with this, and
yeah.
move on to the next one instead of me sitting in the ER with a $1,000 deductible or whatever the case may be.
So I've reused arrows. Like I had an arrow before it split, and I think it split on a pig. But I had an arrow I had made. I killed, I think, like 4 deer with that one arrow. I mean, with that
Mhm.
one arrow. I know guys that have killed 12, 13 deer with the same arrow. They mark, like they put, notches like on the arrow. The biggest thing is just making sure it's structurally sound when,
Mhm.
before you go to the next hunt. Like if it's a lot of pass throughs, then you good. If you use a lot of mechanicals, because a lot of times you can use a fixed blade and it hit like a rock or the impact or something
Right.
like that, and that'll split it. But it's just basically making sure that the arrow is structurally sound, and then it'll be okay. Now my broadheads are one use, and that's because mostly I shoot mechanicals, and I know some of them you can take them apart, you can resharpen blades, yada yada yada. I like to save my broadheads. Those are like I do those, and I put them in a little case, and then I put the date and the animal and whatnot on it. So I saved those. But yeah, like arrows, like I said, I got up to 4 before I split it. And it just depends. Like I said, if it's structurally sound, if it, no splits, no cracks, it shoots good coming out, in practice or whatever, then I'll reload it up. But to your point, I can understand you see something like that, you just kind of like, I'm good.
Yeah, and I saw that. I said, I don't know. That's when we stopped being a punk. But then again, I was like, man, if you and you know what? And I started seeing that video, but I know how you are.
Yeah, no, I don't need to see it. The description was
I'd be like, I don't need to see
yeah.
this.
Yeah, no, I'm good. But it is funny though, because it's hard to draw back. It's hard to draw back an arrow with a hole in your hand. So I mean, draw back a bow with a hole in your hand. So I mean, there's something to that too.
I saw that. I said, no, I said, no, sir. No, sir. You called me a punk. Hey.
So what? So the guy with the bolts on the crossbow, so he reuses them.
I think you say just, yeah, I guess a bolt must be put
Same,
together.
yeah, same premise as long as it's not frayed or fractured or anything like that. You just go ahead and reuse it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he went to the crossbow because he said he came down, he wanted to start archery hunting. He said, so I didn't know. He was like, well, I couldn't decide whether I wanted to do a compound or a crossbow. So he said, what do you do? I said, I started off with a regular
Compound.
old bow,
Yeah,
man, stick a string, man.
yeah.
He's like, well, so I don't know. I said, each his own. You do what you do.
Right, right. Because they'll get they'll get into these heated debates. Like, and it's so funny because it's like, oh well, crossbow should have its own season, or it should go in gun season, it shouldn't be in archery. And then you get the guys that traditional bow hunt, the trad bow guys. They're like, oh, take off the training wheels and compound bow. You're really not compound hunt. I mean, it's all stupid. Like you said, hunt with what makes you happy, shoot with what makes you happy. Like as long as it's legal, just get out and have fun with it. So it's funny because as soon as you said he wanted to archery hunt and he started with a compound bow, I can just hear people just screaming and just shaking their fists and pounding on their desks. That's not archery. And okay, whatever, fella.
I ain't saying that because he told me how far he was shooting out. He said, yeah, I get out to about 70 yards or so. I was like, compound. I said, this is pretty good. But that's what he's bought
That's
up.
what he said was a crossbow. Yeah. Well, I mean, Corey
Oh,
that we just had on. I mean, granted, he is a professional Matthew shooter. He said, his
he's a professional.
range was 60 yards, which, again, and I've seen him shoot, so he definitely is skilled for it. But, I was listening to another guy, and it kind of made me like, not that I necessarily needed it, but it did make me feel good to hear. It was like one of the other like popular guys. I forgot who it was I was listening to. Oh, it was one of the hunting public guys. And he was like, I like to kill, deer between like 15, 20 yards, preferably 15. And he was just like, anything further than that, just like he's like, I don't even like to shoot it, like the range or whatever. And there are a lot of guys that go, 40, 50, 60 on out. You go out west and that's a whole different style of hunting. I've said it for years. 15 to 20 yards. I want to be able to see the lungs moving, breathing. Like I got some really good footage yesterday of a couple of deer. And I mean, like camera was like right here, like with the zoom
Mhm.
in their face. Like, so yeah, the closer the better. To me, bow hunting is all about being close. Rifle, y'all can go out there and touch them from 80, 100 yards, but give them to me close. Let them, so close they don't even know you there. And the next thing you know, they got a little pinch between the shoulders. Like that's
Yeah. And you're the one who got me enjoying getting the deer close. Because before I was looking at about, say if I can get right behind that feeder, it's about 20 to 25 yards. But the first one I really shot up close,
yeah.
it was like a different world. Matter of fact, what do you think about the video I sent you? Did you get a chance to look at that?
Man, listen. You talk about patience. Like you said, there was a couple of times, I'm saying, and I do the same thing when I'm watching like hunting shows on TV. Like I binge watch a lot of hunting shows on YouTube, and not just like mainstream. Like anybody that takes time to go out and self film or film, and they put their stuff on YouTube. Like I can literally lose a day binge watching it. And I was doing the same with your video. I was doing the same thing that I do with theirs. I'm just sitting there, I'm just like, why are you shooting? I'm like, why? What are you waiting for? Shoot, shoot. Like it's almost like if you ever watch Swamp People, the guy on Swamp People, he's like, shoot him, shoot him, shoot him, shoot him again, shoot him again. Like that's how I'm sitting there. I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, any day now, you can let that arrow go. Oh my God, what are you waiting on? Let the arrow go.
So I'm gonna tell you with that video, I got so fascinated with watching this deer and doing the back and forth cat and mouse game.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened. It's like I just got entranced with, yeah. It's almost like you don't even realize I'm
yep,
sitting right here.
yep,
And I'm sitting there just looking at him. Like one time in that video, you see he just looked up right at me.
yep,
At
yep.
that point, I had just went to full draw. That's why he looked up. And I sat there and I held for a second because he almost went, and when he went that, it just would not. And there's one moment I was going to let that arrow fly. And I said, you know what? Just stop.
Yeah,
Just wait. Be
yeah.
patient.
I was about to say that was great. Yeah, that level of patience, that was really, good. But there was a couple of times I was like, all right, go ahead and pop. You like you can pop this deer. But I get it because I haven't had it happen on anything that I made up my mind that I was gonna shoot. But like if I know I'm not, and they come in and they piddling around and they looking around, they scratching their behind and scratching behind their ears and all this other stuff. It is you can get like in a trance because it's just like y'all have no clue. Like you had no clue. Like the wind's perfect. You can't smell me. I'm not moving. I'm not making any other herky jerky movements. The sun is not blowing my background out in the blind or whatever. It's just like y'all have zero clue.
Hero, boss, let me tell you something. That was probably 15 yards.
Yeah,
I think it was 15. Because he came to the front side of that feeder. That was about 15. I think that feeder was about 20. The
yeah.
back side of that feeder is 25. And I sat there, and you know what? And I thought what you said. I saw the little steam come out, his smoke come out his
Yeah.
nostrils one time.
All day you see this, yeah, the steam come out. Yeah. Like you can't, I'm just saying, like that stuff is amazing. And I mean, I've seen videos where guys like, hunting on the ground, they've gotten deer, 10 steps, 5, 7 yards. I mean, it's just like right there, they just set up perfectly and the deer just have no clue. I'm telling you, it is a different feeling either on the ground or in a ground blind, just when it's like, okay, this setup works. Like anytime you go in and you're like, all right, this is gonna be a good spot, and you get the blind,
Mm-hmm.
especially like the way like I hunt with blinds and stuff. I don't do a lot of brushing in blinds and stuff. I just try to put them out there long enough so the deer get used to them, and then just tuck kind of back in the shadows. And they just like they have, as long as that wind's good, they have no clue, and it's just a rewarding. That alone, knowing that the setup it couldn't work, is a rewarding feeling itself.
7 minutes and 54 seconds are just, I can say that's probably the best hunt ever had. But both, hey, listen, but when I let that arrow fly
Yeah.
though,
Like I said, closing, the setup is rewarding. Closing the deal is the joy. Yeah.
yeah,
And I don't care what anybody says. I know people, they're like, oh, I had a great hunt. I saw X amount of deer, blah, 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 blah. Or, they didn't see anything, but they enjoy being out. Like, and that's fine. Again, to each their own. But I know for me, like I need to end a hunt, with a ride in the back of the truck and go into the processor. But I mean, obviously, just like anything in life, that doesn't happen every time. But to me, that is the goal when we go out every time. Like I said,
I
knowing the
tell you,
setup is good, that's rewarding. The
I,
joy is that
I,
drive to the process.
listen, I tell everybody, if you rifle hunt, if you go pick up a bow, careful. It
Yeah.
is I'm
Yep.
telling you.
Yep. Yep. That's the
Both
reason
hunters.
why. I mean, and granted, it's relatively short compared to a lot of people, but knocking on what is this, 9 years in, I've had no desire to pick up a rifle, muzzle loader, or anything else. It's like I don't even waterfowl hunt anymore. Most of the reason I don't waterfowl hunt anymore is just access. But yeah, like I have no desire to pick up a firearm. None.
Yeah.
Like, I just
One
want to
thing
with my bow.
I don't think I want to do. I definitely would get my son on something, but it's so hard with him just not being here. And
Yeah.
my other two things I want to do, I want my daughter and my wife to be able to kill a deer with a bow. That's
Yeah.
the three things I want to do. If I never put nothing else down, which I don't want to do that, but if I can see the two of them kill a deer with a bow and my son just get one,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, like I want,
Yes,
I would love for my son to get one with a bow. Same thing. He just doesn't, between time and distance and whatnot, he just doesn't have, practice with it enough for me to feel comfortable with turning them loose. Now, when he was younger, he did, and he had a great shot on a hog when we was in Texas, and the we didn't compensate for it. It was one of those tripod stands.
hmm
Oh, it's got like the rail, and we didn't compensate. Instead of like when he drew back in front of the rail instead of over the rail. So when he came, the limb smacked the rail and the arrow fell short. But had he not hit that rail, that was a dead pig. Yeah, and it was funny because we were talking. I remember we were talking after that, and I was just like, I'm sorry, we didn't get a chance, to get one. And he was just so happy. This was God. He was probably 12, like
hmm
somewhere between like 10 and 12. And he was just so happy. He was just like, oh, I got to see different kinds of animals. It's like just being outside, and it's just like
Yeah.
shoot at one. Like he was just so happy, and I think he would still go hunting if he had, like I said, just the time to continue to work at it. Because I know every time, not every time, but a lot of times when he comes home, he's still out there shooting his bow. Like he just enjoys doing it. Like he'll go out in the yard and just shoot. So hopefully we can put the pieces together one day, and I would love to be there and film it with him, shooting a bow and getting a deer. That would be amazing for me.
Yeah, it's not like taking your family member out there and watching pull a deer out the woods, put it on
Yeah.
the back of that truck,
Yep.
boy.
Get on down the road. Yep.
Down the road, hey, you got to get that shirt, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that being said, so of course, then I told you I went out on post, checked out a couple of areas.
Yeah. You had
Obviously,
yeah, y'all got some things going on yeah,
so
on post. I would, before you get into it, I would love really to hear from other people that hunt on military bases or military areas, just what kind of shenanigans they have to deal with hunting on posts, because y'all got a lot going on in Fort Jackson.
Yeah. So at least I found those three spots, and the one I was supposed to be in, but I didn't realize it if I left the office because I went ahead and signed that one out. And I
Yep.
said, well, no, actually, the one I was looking for, I didn't realize it was going to be that far down the road. So, but I found two other ones. No, I found one other one and a sign going to another one as I was trying to find that one.
Yeah.
But the second one, well, the first one I did find, it was red. I wasn't supposed to be in there, but I was like, I don't see anybody out here. So I was like, well, cool. At least I know where it is. But I ended up going way further down the road. And as I went down that road, I did not foresee that stand being that far. But I said, you know what? I think it's down here. Let me, you say you got to just stay the course. Because
Yep.
I was ready to turn around. And I said, nope, stay the course. Because I got so far down there, my truck was kind of like, hey, hold on, dude, what's going on? So I had to flip my terrain management to sand mode in order to get through it. But I kept driving and I found it. I was like, oh man, this is cool. Nice spot. The only issue with it was, unlike when you're on your own land, you can start trimming lemon trees and doing whatever you do.
Yeah.
Out there, you got to be careful. You just
Right.
can't go just start cutting stuff.
Yep.
Well, I said with this stand, if I hunt it, that deer's got to literally be right there. You know what I'm saying? Now, will somebody come out there and check? I don't know, but I don't want to take that chance and be
Right.
start cutting stuff, and all of a sudden the game war. Hey, what you doing?
You're
I was
right.
back there and I saw you.
Right. Right.
But, but to go back before I found that one, and I sent you that video, and I kind of went off to the side and was like, hey, okay, let me see how's the opening there. And I looked. I said, well, what is that? I'm not going to touch it.
Right.
So I
Right.
took a
Which I'm
video.
glad you did, because you need, not only you, but your limbs.
So I took that video. I said to Al. So of course, I sent it to you with no military experience. You
No.
come back and say, "Well, man, is that a landmine?" I said, "This man ain't been in military. Even I thought it was a landmine."
I ain't been in nobody's military, but as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, is that
So
like, I mean, I got a rough guesstimation of what a claymore looks like. I'm just like,
yes, I can definitely tell you, it's not a claymore. I can tell you that,
yeah.
but it's just kind of like
And
it
why?
could be
And if
nothing.
it is, so my other thought too, if it is a landmine, why is it just out like that? Like, because aren't they usually buried?
Yeah, so that's JP. He said, I don't know. He said, it looked like it might be a piece to maybe a septic tank or something like that. He said, could have been an old house out there. I said, it looks round and it looks dangerous. So I'm not going near it. So I need to let my buddy know. He's the chief of police out there and let him know where I was at. It's probably nothing, but
Yeah,
I don't want to be the one, but like, stupid hunters out there, Fort Jackson,
right,
thought it was a piece of plastic, come to find out it was a
right.
landmine.
Messing with something you ain't got no business. That
And not to mention there's big old signs out there that tell you impact and dud areas. So I mean, I don't
right.
know.
That is, to me, that is just so wild. Like, and I mean, in a way, I guess I get it, because, like, it's a fort. It has its purpose for what it's
Yeah.
used for. And it's just like, all right, y'all can go out there and play, but it's still a fort, and it's still, the purposes that it's there for, and all the other stuff that happens on a fort for funsies, can't be at the expense of the primary reason that the fort's there.
Yeah. Okay. Next time I go, I'm gonna take a picture so you can see that sign. I can't remember if it's an impact and dud area, but I'm gonna take a picture for proof, just so you can see what I'm talking about.
Because all I can think of is, like, if you shoot a deer, especially with a bow, you shoot a deer, right? And you got, like you say, you got the impact zones and all the other things going on out there. You shoot your deer takes off running, and then the next thing you hear is boom, because your deer done fell on, like, a mine or some kind of something in the impact zone. Like, so
Yeah. I mean, the chances of happening is probably unlikely, but Me, I have that luck when they say, "Oh man, we've never seen that happen before." I'm just that one.
Yep.
I don't know what it is.
Yep.
Because I'm always that one that encounters that. Man, we've never seen this happen before.
Yep.
It's just the Antonio luck, I guess. I don't know.
I think the same. Listen, I think the same way. I'm just like, okay, this is never like this can't happen, or this has never happened. But oh yeah, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen to me. So yeah, no, I definitely I think the same way. So now that you picked the spot, or so it was only one spot that you found.
There was three. Well, I found two on that road. There was another one which I thought it was red. That's why I didn't go in there until I went back to go sign myself back in.
Right.
And I was like, oh, it wasn't red. I could have went in there. So if I get a chance this week, I'm gonna ride out there and see if I can find out. I think it was 14C. It was 14C, B, and A on that road. Then the other side is 15
Yeah.
A and B, which I hunted 15B last year. The only thing I didn't like about that stand is when you walk into it from the road to where it's standing. I mean, it's just like it's way back in the corner.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna shoot a deer, it's more likely gonna have to come from probably this way because I'm sure you spreading all kind of scent coming in there unless the wind comes and blows
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that
Yep.
way.
Yep. So what? So when you actually think you're gonna get a chance to actually hunt it?
I'm gonna probably try to get out there. I'm gonna start taking my stuff during the week
Yeah. So
and
you can
see if
be
I can
home
get out there.
right after work.
Yeah, I told my wife be on standby because I tell you I got that muscle pull. But one of my coworkers, he said, "Look, man, if you do and you have any issues, let me know. So I'll help you pull it out because I
Okay.
got that muscle pull on my side. It is not comfortable. It's coming at the wrong damn time."
Yeah, in the middle of the season, boy, that is, deer season. If you think about it, it's like a sport, right? Like you want everything to work, you want all your equipment to work, you want your body to work, or you don't want to deal with injuries. Like, one season I cracked my foot. Um, it went in the stand luckily it was enough support in my hunting boot with a fracture in my foot. And then by the time I finished, I definitely like felt it. Like it did not feel good. I had dialysis surgery one year, and then I went deer hunting. I had a transplant with the next year, still went deer hunting. So it's just funny how the two, are parallel. Just like in regular sports, you don't want no injuries, you don't want no issues or what.
Yeah.
Deer season, depending on when you stay, when your season's open and close, I mean, it's literally, 12, 15 weeks or whatever. So to try to make it happen.
Yeah, 'cause that last club for the closed when I shot that doe, man, I was at my sciatica was acting up really bad, and I should have been out there. But I hunted. But I'm gonna tell you, when I tell you I paid for it,
Man,
well, I paid for it. I got him out of there, but the next couple of days was something serious.
sitting there, damn, sciatica, or been in cold. Like trying to hunt with a cold is almost useless because, especially if you can't stop sneezing, you're just gonna blow everything out of there
Mhm.
anyway. Yeah, but things that we do for this sport that we love.
Tell you, but yeah. But hey, I mean, like you said, we do it because we love it. We like to do it. We hope we get out there and so we just say we make it happen, make it go down.
Yep.
Put the animal on the back and get on down the road. But it just, I think it's probably been one of the most trying things I've dealt with, being in hunt clubs and losing leases and land being sold. It kind of brought me back to reality that it's not always going to be what you want it to be.
Right.
And
Right.
I had to get that out of my head because it was like I was so used to where we were hunting at. I have my club. I can
Yep.
have my wife, my daughter down at one. I can go down here. Well, you don't have that. Get past it.
Yeah. Right.
Until you go
Figure
buy
out,
some land, do
right.
what you want to do.
Figure out the next steps and the next course of action. Yep.
Yeah,
You only sit in it for so long, and then you got to figure something out.
yeah. Well, they say you gotta make it happen.
Yep. Yep. Well, this week, short episode. We basically hit the stuff that we wanted to hit. Make sure you guys, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, hit that notification bell so you know when these podcasts are coming out. Make sure you go and follow Antonio with at Hunting with the Marshes. And if you're not already, follow me at official Bryant Land. And we will come back next week. We may have a guest. We may not have a guest.
Before we go, Adam, before we go, I got to shout out to my little baby girl. She got a birthday coming up Wednesday. So I had to put on my lucky dad shirt.
Oh,
Baby.
I was wondering what was behind that. Yep.
Yeah, it's like a whole
Shout out to Big Sid.
it's like a whole paragraph of I'm a lucky dad. She's an awesome daughter, and I'm the best thing that ever happened to her. It's all kind of stuff on here.
My daughter got me one for graduation. It just said awesome like my daughter.
Yeah.
Just one phrase. But yeah, shout out to Big Sid on Wednesday.
Shout out to my baby girl, 29, almost at 30.
Really? I don't know why I thought she was younger than that. Wow.
Yeah, man.
Long in the tooth.
29, boy, she'll be 30 pretty soon.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
We like that. We like that. I tell people all the time, birthdays, it's like, oh, you seem like you don't get too excited about your birthday. Just want to keep seeing them.
There you go.
As long as we can keep racking them up, things are going pretty good. So, like, I don't know if y'all want me to get out here and tap dance the way y'all want, but as long as they keep coming, then we in good shape. So.
I tell you, they be asking me to work in the morning, like, how you doing? Hey, I saw another day. That's all I want to do.
What our boy Smooth said last week? Better be seen and viewed.
Man, yes.
Oh my God. All right. We're gonna get out of here. Thank y'all for checking this out. Make sure you come back next week for another episode of the Bryant Land Show.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.